Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here, and welcome to yet another special video on Forza Horizon 4. Today we are back at it again as we will go through 8 more hidden secrets, Easter eggs and glitches that you didn't know in Forza Horizon 4. Number 1. Who's that character? So right now we're just casually driving through the Slate Quarry, and as we pan around and look at our surroundings, it all looks very normal. However, when we look at this from our map, you can see that Slate Quarry seems to be shaped after a character's head. Now, there has been many debate as to which character Playground Games is referencing. Most people are referring this to the biker scout from Star Wars, which isn't far-fetched, as later in this video I will also show you other Star Wars references, but some have also said this is making reference to Carmine or one of his brothers from the Gears of War series, but who knows, maybe this was just an accidental surprise by the team at Playground Games. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? And if so, what character do you think they are referencing? Number 2. Real car barn finds. Now, I know by now most of us who have played and even owned Forza Horizon 4 would have at least at some point gone out to search for a barn find, and once we actually locate one, we see just how much of a bucket the car is. By the way, the term bucket is a slang for a very crappy car. Although most of the time we may skip the cutscenes, one small detail we may miss is the existing number plates on the barn find vehicles. Some of them are actual expired British number plates, like this Ford Escort. In fact, not only does it have an actual expired number plate, it was on the exact same car and color too. I know at first sight we don't think much of it, but once we find out the small details Playground Games have added, I think we can all agree that we truly appreciate it.
Whoa, check it out! Escort RS Turbo, nice! Some 17-year-old boy loved this thing to death, probably before I was even born. Let's get it back to the garage.
Number 3. Painting brake calipers now. As you know, in the future update in Forza Horizon 4, we will be able to paint our brake calipers. However, there is a certain car that you can already paint its brake calipers, and that is the McLaren Senna. Because you see, the Senna has 2 paint tones. One is for the main body, and the other is for the front ducts, which is associated with the brake calipers. As you can see, I can basically turn the brake calipers into any color I desire. So try that right now. And also, if there are any other cars that you can paint the brake calipers right now, please notify us by placing the car name down in the comment section below. Number 4. P.O Cars. Have you ever gone to the auction house and wondered, what's the McLaren 720S PO or the Porsche GT3 RS PO? Well, these are very special pre-order cars that is not your typical normal vehicle. These cars are pre-modified with a much higher PI at default, similar to a Forza Edition vehicle, with much higher tuning potential as well. There are actually 7 of these that have been released, which I will also show you their normal counterpart, just so you can have an idea as to how much of a performance difference they possess. First one is the Aston Martin DB11, Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, Ford Focus RS, McLaren 720S, Mercedes AMG GTR, Nissan GTR, Porsche GT3 RS. Now, to obtain one of these, well, it's in the name. If you had pre-ordered Forza Horizon 4 at a participating store, you may have received a code for a special car. And of course, the other way to get your hands on one of these exclusive pre-ordered vehicles is the auction house. But I will warn you, these cars don't pop up very often. In fact, your odds are probably better spotting Santa and his reindeers this Christmas holiday.
Ho ho ho.
No pre-order car for you. Number 5. Sinking car on tarmac. Have you ever seen this before? It's funny how you can turn some cars into boats where it begins sinking on tarmac. Now, in the real world, I've never really seen this before. However, these are certainly brand new physics that the team at Playground Games have certainly made up in the world of Forza Horizon 4, only for us to enjoy. Well, let me show you just how you can achieve this. So, the first thing we're going to do is choose a high horsepowered hypercar. Now you can choose the Koenigsegg 1-to-1, the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, but I have gone with the McLaren Senna. So what you're going to have to do is practically max out everything. Whether or not you're going to do an engine swap, that doesn't matter. Just max out everything except for one thing, and that is the suspension. Now the suspension themselves, you don't want to keep them stock. You want to have the rally springs. Now this one right here, I've already pre-modified. So once you have purchased everything, including the rally suspension, we'll quickly move over to the tuning side. Okay, so we're in the tuning section now. Now everything here seems pretty normal. It's not much of a difference except for one thing, and that is the springs. So the front and rear springs need to be as soft as possible, and then the ride height, they need to be as low as possible. Now these settings for me give me the greatest effect in terms of sinking your car. You can nearly sink half of your car onto the tarmac with these settings. So without further ado, let's head over to the highway and see how the car performs. Alright, we're ready to do this. Look at how low this McLaren is sitting. At 60 as the speed limit. As if we're going to follow that. Alright, here we go. Let's start accelerating. Oh, we can see the car sinking already. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Come on. How far can we go? Oh no. Oh, the car's teetering. Oh my gosh. Nah, look at that. I can barely even control it. It's about to tip over. Row, row, row your Senna gently down the highway. McLaren, 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 McLaren. Good physics. Number 6. The invisible wall. Now, in order to do this, you will either need the McLaren Senna that I just showed you or another car that can sink onto the tarmac. And what you're going to have to do is just drive extremely fast and stay in the middle lane of the freeway, and eventually this will happen. Okay, so if you're wondering the exact location, this is where it is. That little, I don't know what that thing is called. Probably should find out. That's practically where the invisible wall is. So if I press the start button and look at the map, right here, that is where the invisible wall is. Now, the reason why I find this hilarious is you can actually do a creator route. So get one of your friends or a group of friends to modify a McLaren Senna or Lamborghini Sesto Elemento so it can sink onto the ground, and then make the checkpoints as narrow as possible, and then also get them to turn on simulation damage as well. That way, if they are unaware of this glitch, they will all destroy their car while you just cruise right along, because if you drive past at a normal speed, nothing happens. Alright, come on Forza and everyone working at Playground Games, do we really have to address this? Alright, so I've got the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, and then there is this slight problem. Okay, what I'm going to do is change the aspiration from supercharger to twin turbo. So, I lose 70 brake horsepower, which is fine. But, if you go and upgrade the twin turbos, look at what happens. Oh no! Oh no! I'm losing power as I supposedly get better turbos. How does that make sense? Now, I'm curious to actually find out. Is this just a statistic glitch? Well, I'm going to find out in a quarter-mile drag race. Yep, GG. It's safe to say that this is not just a statistical glitch, but it is an actual problem. So please, Playground Games, please go ahead and fix the race twin turbo problem in the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. And number 8, quotes. So I'm sure many of you guys are familiar with the phrase selection area, where you can actually pick and choose what quotes you want so you can use them in an online lobby or also in a team adventure. Now, some of you guys may not know, many of these quotes are taken from either movies, games, and etc. For example, "Too soon, Junior" is of course from the Fast and the Furious movie.
Too soon, Junior.
Daytona. Now, if you remember, in one of the story missions, that's what the girl was singing. Now, that's actually in reference to one of the old school Daytona USA arcade games, which sounded like this. And then, of course, there's these ones here. "Hello there."
Hello there.
"I've got a bad feeling about this."
I have a bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
And "I don't like sand." All, of course, are taken from Star Wars. Now, I know this might be a little bit far-fetched, but I'm sure there are many that are hidden there. If you pick them apart and analyze them long enough, I'm sure many of these are actually referring to many movies or games or whatever, and they're not simply just there because someone has just said it randomly at the playground offices. So there we have it, guys. That was 8 things you didn't know on Forza Horizon 4, featuring hidden secrets, Easter eggs, and glitches. Some you may have never seen before. Maybe you've seen all of them. Who knows? But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button. That would really help me out. Also, if you guys like this type of videos, put them down in the comment section below that you do enjoy them, because at this point I'm just waiting for the DLC to come on Forza Horizon 4, as there's not really much else to do as of this point. But anyways, if you guys would like to see more of this, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.